Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Are you ready?
Let's get ready to rumble!
Hello everyone, and welcome yet again to this version of the Rant Show. I'm your host, as always, N7X Karu. And, well, let's just get down into things, shall we? First off, just, excuse the sunburn all over my face and arms, whatever. My stupid butt decided to, go fishing this past Saturday and forgot to put on sunscreen because I do not tan, I just burn. But with that being said, yeah, let's actually get on to the subject at hand. Alright, this edition of the Rant Show, I actually wanted to talk about two things really. I wanted to talk about the new Fallout game that they should be coming out with, that hence the word should be, and Final Fantasy VII. First off, Fallout. Fallout, I guess you could call it 4 because the last one was just called New Vegas. So let's just call it Fallout 4 for now. As some of you may know, there have been rumors flying all over the internet, but nothing really can confirm, to the best of my knowledge, about Bethesda making a Fallout 4. I know they should make a Fallout 4, you know they should make a Fallout 4, especially with how good Fallout 3 and New Vegas was. I know there's a few out there that don't like New Vegas too much. I personally, I loved it. I've at least played it, I don't know, 5 or 6 times already, and actually beaten it. I mean, I've played it more than that before, and just left the files I've had alone and just restarted, but that's beside the point. But nevertheless, I have played New Vegas. I liked it. I definitely played Fallout 3 and I loved it. And to the best of my knowledge, they made half decent money with New Vegas, so I don't see any reason that they shouldn't make a Fallout 4, especially with how many people are demanding that they do. To the best of my knowledge, though, like I said, there isn't anything concrete about them actually making one. I don't think Bethesda's even actually ever announced it. I don't think, like, I honestly, the last couple times I've scoured the web, I've found nothing concrete about them making a new Fallout game. And, well, to be honest, everyone wants it. Everyone is demanding for it. There have been rumors about it being set up, this game being set up in, like, North South Dakota. There have been, just rumors flying all over the web, but Bethesda themselves, to the best of my knowledge, has never said anything concrete about it. But I don't know if by some chance Bethesda does watch this. Get off your butts and announce something. You don't have to give anything away. Just confirm whether it's true or not if you're actually gonna make one. Like, a lot are speculating at this point that at 2015's E3 event that they are going to be announcing said game, which I hope they do, because people have been wanting said game to be announced since last year, at the very least. It needs to happen. Like I said, that the Fallout 3 was amazing. New Vegas was fantastic. And like you said, to the best of my knowledge, I mean, New Vegas especially, and I know Fallout 3 made their money. New Vegas made its money. I don't see any concrete real reason of why Bethesda wouldn't make another game. Like, I know Elder Scrolls The Online, to the best of my knowledge, actually isn't doing that good in sales with subscriptions and stuff like that. So, I mean, they might be losing money in that area, so that's probably why they haven't announced anything on their new Fallout game yet, because they need to recoup their losses from Elder Scrolls Online. I have never played it, but from just the conjectures and rumors I've heard, Elder Scrolls Online isn't doing that good. So that's why they might have not announced anything about Fallout 4 yet, is because they're still trying to recruit their losses and get everything together, dealing with said other game. But yeah, they definitely need to come out with a Fallout 4. And on that note, I don't think it necessarily hurt. I mean, with them, you know, like revamping other games to, like remastering games to come out on the new systems, I don't think it necessarily hurt if they remastered New Vegas and even Fallout 3 for that matter for the PS4 and Xbox One. I think it'd be a good idea. You know, maybe update the graphics a little. You don't have to do much, just so people can actually play Fallout 3 and maybe a few DLCs and Fallout New Vegas and a few DLCs. Put them on the new systems so, you know, people with the new systems can still play them and they won't have to switch back to their PS3 or Xbox 360 just to go back to said games. I mean, I'd buy them. I know some other people would buy them if they remastered them and had New Vegas and Fallout 3 come out for the new systems. I think it'd be a half-decent idea. I know they might not make as much money as they did on the original games, but I know people personally that would buy them if they did it. So I don't think that'd be a bad idea, but the most, like I said, I am hoping for that they do. See, if they don't announce at this year's E3 that they're going to be making the game, at least do it at the GMA Awards. I think that's what the awards, the award show for video games is called. If they don't announce it at E3, they at least, at the very least, even though the GMAs is until the end of the year, they need to announce it at least there, because a lot of people are waiting for this game. They want this game. I want said game. So if they do not announce it by E3 or shortly thereafter, it might be smart and in their best interest that they're actually going to be planning on making a game to at least announce it. You may maybe release a small like teaser trailer for it. You don't have to give much. Just say that you're frigging making it. Okay. I don't think I can say much besides what I just said on that. So, on to the next little tidbit. And that would be Final Fantasy VII. As some of you may recall, when PS3 was first released, they did a thing. How can I best describe this? You can look up the video on YouTube and see the video for yourself, but they released a video clip of a scene from Final Fantasy VII. With updated graphics. They did this as kind of a teaser thing to show what the new graphics for the PS3 is going to look like. So they figured they'd bring back a cutscene from an old video game with PS3 graphics to show you how good the PS3 is going to be. Now, a lot of people, when they first did this, thought that this was like a teaser thing, saying that they were going to remaster Final Fantasy VII for the PS3. And of course, you know, now that the PS4 is out, they didn't do that. My whole thing is you know that might have been like a smart thing to do. I mean, because that probably got a lot of people hyped, thinking that, you know, oh, they're gonna come out with the remastered version of Final Fantasy VII, so I'm gonna have to get the PS3. So that was kind of a smart move if that was their whole reason behind doing it. But obviously, it didn't happen. I mean, the Final Fantasy was never remastered. It was never released for the PS3, and it sucks. I have actually been how can I put this? I was a huge fan of Final Fantasy VII. I got into Final Fantasy VIII, and slowly after that, I've kind of lost interest in most of the other Final Fantasy games. I mean, some of them were good. I played some of them, but I started, I guess you could say, I lost interest slowly after Final Fantasy VIII. I'm not saying that the storylines in the other games are bad or the combat style or anything. I don't know. I can't explain it. I just, like I said, slowly decided to lose interest after Final Fantasy VIII. But to this day, I still play Final Fantasy VII because I still have, you know, my old systems besides the 360 and all of them. I still have, you know, the older systems. I still have my PS1 and PS2 and all that. And sometimes I go back and I play Final Fantasy VII because, yes, it might not have the best graphics in the world, but the frickin' storyline and the frickin' battle scenes and just pretty much everything about this frickin' game, out with how long the game's been out since then, it's still frickin' fantastic. And for whatever reason, how long it's been out now, none of you watching this video has ever played Final Fantasy VII, and you're wondering what all the hype is about it. You need to, you could go to the local Goodwill, you could go to the local, you go to eBay, find a PS1, or even get a PS2, because, you know, they play the PS1 games, and get Final Fantasy VII and play it and see for yourself. Or even if you have to, because you're a bit broke at times, like moi, get an emulator, download it onto your computer, find an emulator of Final Fantasy VII, and do it that way. Whichever way, whatever your fancy. I'm not saying I condone it, so, you know, YouTube, don't take down this video for me saying, yeah, you get an emulator so you don't have to pay for jack crap. No, I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying, if that's your fancy, do it that way. But somehow, whatever reason, you know, get a whole Final Fantasy VII and play it, especially if you've never played it. But now getting back onto the whole subject I was supposed to be talking about, following the subject of me wanting Sony Sony to bring back other remastered games, like I said with Fallout 3 New Vegas, I think it would be a good idea for the company that made Final Fantasy VII and half of the other Final Fantasy games to bring back and actually remaster Final Fantasy VII and for the PS4. Now, I know that some people out there would be like, oh no, they shouldn't do this. Original Final Fantasy VII for life. There are going to be those people out there. I know a few of them. But 10 to 1 says they're still going to buy the game regardless. And I know, trust me, I know with still the bandwagon that Final Fantasy VII in general is still pulling, that they make their money and more on this game. There would be lines of outside the video game stores for the midnight release of said game if they did it. So if they remastered Final Fantasy VII, they would make their money. It's not like they wouldn't. I don't see why they don't. It wouldn't be like going on the horrible bandwagon that some video games are doing now and making prequels. Yeah, we're not going to get onto that. But they just simply be remastering a game. And so people could play it for the new systems, for the PS4. Which, by the way, sorry to any Xbox One fans out there, I think if they ever did remaster Final Fantasy VII, it should only come out for the PS4. No offense, because just for the simple fact that the original Final Fantasy VII game, was only out for the Sony systems in the first place. Like I said, no offense to anyone who has an Xbox One, but that's just my own personal opinion. But I think they should, because with the hype, like I said, when they showed that little small cutscene with updated graphics of from Final Fantasy VII, even though they did it just to promote the PS3 and I think it's the PSP or I think it's either PSP or the Vita when they just did that to show the updated graphics for both systems, I mean, the hype of people behind them possibly making a remastered version of Final Fantasy VII was ridiculous. Because a lot of people thought when they did that they were going to. And there's still a lot of people, even though how long since that clip, that snippet, that clip, that whatever was released when PS3 first came out, there's still a lot of, I mean a lot. Just go on freaking Google and search it for yourself and see the thousands of forums that are saying that people saying they want them to still remaster Final Fantasy VII. So it's not like they wouldn't make their money if they did. I'm almost guaranteeing, like I said, that there'd be lines of people for the midnight release of said game if they did it. So they'd make their money. I'm almost willing to bet my entire salary on this. I honestly think it'd be a good idea. I think it'd be a good idea if Bethesda finally came out and announced, because there's people been waiting for it forever, announcing that you don't have to release much. You don't even have to release a teaser trailer. Just say that you're making it already. Because like I said, I don't think anything's been actually really confirmed yet. It's all just rumors at this point. Bethesda needs to at least come out and announce that they're finally making a Fallout 4. It probably would be in their best interest to remaster and have Fallout 3 and New Vegas, or at least New Vegas, come out for the PS4 and Xbox One. Because they'd probably they definitely probably would make their money off of that if they did. And then they need to come out and actually finally remaster Final Fantasy VII and have it come out for the new systems, you know, the Xbox, not the Xbox One, but for the PS4. Like I said, no offense to the Xbox One fans out there, but I think if they do it, they should only come out for the PS4. But these people need to do this. Bethesda, like I said, and I'm repeating myself, but Bethesda needs to finally announce, you know, like say it's actually happening, that they're making a Fallout 4. It probably wouldn't be a bad idea for them to also remaster with, you know, they don't have to do much, just update the graphics a little, not much besides that, but they need to, it would probably wouldn't be a bad idea for them to remaster Fallout 3 in New Vegas and have it come out for the new systems. And it wouldn't be a bad idea for them to finally remaster and release Final Fantasy VII again for the PS4. They need to do this. These are smart ideas. I don't know why they haven't done them already. But, so I don't completely, you know, every 5 seconds repeat myself, that's all I actually wanted to talk about, believe it or not. So, that's about it. I know I announced in my last Rant Show that my next con I'm going to is ColossalCon 2015 and Anime Next 2015. Look up, not look up, but an update video above, like, what I'll be cosplaying for these cons, and a full thing of what's going on with ColossalCon and Anime Next. There will be a update video later on, probably within the next week or so, about that, of, you know, just those of stuff I'll be doing at the con, like when I'll be there till and what I'll be cosplaying. There will be an update video of that coming within the next week or so look out for that. But like I said, that's all I wanted to talk about, really, this episode of the Rant Show. So I hope you enjoyed it nevertheless. This is N7 Karu signing off. I will see you later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. O4L. And I'll see all my crew later. Peace.
Hey boy, 夢を見て one.